thank you for this nice introduction and welcome everybody. And thank you for showing interest in this meeting today. Yeah, Stasi and Katerina are going to express more about this, but we start with a practice just to ground ourselves and inviting presence in this moment. So allowing the body to find a posture where to sit with ease. A posture which is inviting self-care and presence. And so you arrive after the bell to settle in this posture, sitting with the feet grounded, the sitting bones grounded, and the spine aligned to the head. And allowing the hands to find the posture where the shoulders can drop. And we can settle by receiving a gentle breath. And we adopt a posture which is inviting receptivity and presence. As people are entering and arriving, dropping in your sitting with a gentle breath. It's an opportunity to let go of what has happened so far today and really cultivate presence in this moment. It can be helpful to sense the breath, the sitting bones of the feet on the ground. So allowing another time to rest the attention on the breath. And then expanding, opening the focus of awareness to the entire body, from the head to the feet, and from the feet to the head. Maybe allowing the breath to reach the extremities and presence. Maybe a last deep breath to release tensions, resistance, and inviting a quality of presence which is receptive, welcoming, and open-hearted.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Very kind. And I would like to welcome the colleagues who have meanwhile arrived. And with that, we are grateful for your being here and for sharing. Today we will offer a summary of our understanding of the Fieldbook for Mindfulness Innovators. And that is due to the fact that we are trying to understand the market and at the same time offering tools to change things that are happening to us all, most of us, to create different types of content, formats, address new populations, find new models for financing. And this Fieldbook for Mindfulness Innovators addresses many themes. We have chosen to give you an overview of the Fieldbook and to make it also interactive, so we can hear from each other in breakout rooms what each of us is intending to do or already doing on 4 of the topics. And with this, dear Stasi, I invite you and thank you for having made this summary. Very helpful. And I invite you to start what you want to present so we can get into interaction.
Great. Thanks, Katerina. Thanks, Teresa, for the gentle guidance. We started, I think, a few months ago discussing about new ways for us teachers to find how to attract more of these people who really need mindfulness, and some of them don't even know it or don't know about it. And yeah, I then remembered about this Fieldbook for Mindfulness Innovators that I first read in 2019. This is when, in October sometime 2019, just before the pandemic changed our lives forever. I was the premiere of this book in London, and where the team of creators were presenting what it was and why they created it. Actually, it's an initiative of the Mindfulness Initiative together with mindful.org, which is American, US American and Canadian also participation. So it's the good thing is that it's a really a big team of creators and contributors as well. I don't know if some of you have seen or read the book. Our goal tonight is not to talk about what is it in the book much, but just to give you a very slight taste, and also to discuss some of the topics that are focus of the book. So it came out really in a moment just when the World Health Organization announced burnout as a disease. And also when a year later, the ISO published their new standards for psychological health work. All of that, together with the pandemic afterwards, created really the need for, and we all as teachers can understand and feel it, the need for different and variety of responses in the field of mindfulness that are not always the classical programs that most of us probably were trained in. So if I may say, I'll show you on some of these slides that will be our backbone to see what's in the book, but also to engage you to think the way the creators have thought, because the creators were a team of mindfulness teachers like us. And they asked the questions like, how do we know that we created, if we have an idea to innovate some parts of the program, how we know that we have created something that's a real solution and a good benefit and will benefit our participants. But when I read the whole book, I started using parts of it. So it almost became like my mindfulness Bible. Because, or another metaphor can be, if you know, in the old days, farmers used so-called almanacs. They were giving them ideas of what, in which season, what type of crops to plant, and how and when to gather it, and how to work with their farms and the plants. And so there was information from everywhere that was really, really important. So that's what I call this a field book for mindfulness innovators, my almanac, because in some moments, different moments of my life as mindfulness teacher since 2019, I come back to it, and I just adjust my practice to that, and my teacher ideas. So without further ado, I'll just start. And I would like first to invite you to go a bit inside yourself. It doesn't have to be a mindfulness practice, just a reflection, maybe with eyes closed, maybe with eyes open, just to remember really how and why perhaps you decided to become a mindfulness teacher at some point in your lives. And maybe the moment when you were very energized to do so, or when you took this decision. And what was really the leading motivation for that? And what was the purpose, perhaps, that you defined? Was there a definition of anything at all, or it was just more really a call? And just go back in that moment and maybe reconnect to this energy that made you make the first step to learn more, to perhaps decide then to become a teacher, qualified, and to enter this movement. And some of you have probably been teachers for more than 10 years, more than 20, some of you maybe 3, 5. And regardless of the time and the experience, has this energy changed? And how do you feel nowadays from compared to the moment when you said, yes, I'll become that? Just think for yourself, and maybe relate to how you feel about it as well. If you can at all formulate a change or two in your pathway as being a teacher. Then how are you doing now as a mindfulness-based program teacher? There are different, of course, ways to describe somebody's well-being. And in the field of mindfulness, do you feel like you're struggling or striving to do something? We have had many conversations so far, and this presentation is coming in the middle of them. And or is it more like surviving mode that you are in, or you're really thriving? I guess we have here in this group of each type, and that's what's going to be interesting to mix you up very soon in small groups, and for you to share this to offer your sharing, actually, how you feel and what makes you feel like that. What you think is the main reason? What have you found? What solutions are you working out on at the moment? So with this reflection of our pathways in the past and how we came to this moment, I want to share as well 3 stories that are taken from real life, people I know, and the 3 of them are announcing mindfulness programs, mindfulness-based programs, and they have websites. They're different, of course, professionals. The first one has made, I think, has made most money out of her initiative. She has only the 8-week MBSR course, but she's a professional photographer, and she's combining her experience of practicing mindfulness herself for 12 years, doing photography, and leading people into doing mindful photography. The other one is Barbara. She has less years of mindfulness practice, but she's a qualified MBSR teacher. She's also a psychologist, which helps her combine her skills from the mindfulness qualification and psychology. And she is one of those who are struggling and sharing with me that she doesn't know what to do. And Damien, who has certain amount of years mindfulness practice, the 8-week MBCT is a foundation, but is also a qualified yoga teacher for many years, collaborating with psychologists together in a studio. And he says that he's quite happy with what he does. I don't know if you will relate to someone or some of these, or there's huge diversity of stories, personal stories, and how we are, and what our personal experiences on the field of mindfulness. Of course, these 3 have their own challenges. Different type of qualifications, different entrance into mindfulness field. And this diversity is great. Of course, people can choose their courses. Still, you see the difference between struggling and thriving, perhaps. And coming to the idea of how this field has developed in the last more than 15 years, I would say, starting from specific programs, mainly in healthcare, which are MBSR, MBCT, then came breathworks for chronic pain, the course. And then these starting to educate teachers on these courses, on these programs. And then little by little, the diversity came, and some parts in these courses were changed, and innovation, the wind of changes started blowing. We're all entering uncharted territory here when we decide to go a little bit away from what we were trained as teachers, maybe on MBCT or MBSR, or mindful living. Now there's new and more and more new names coming out. But these are the challenges that that are also mentioned in the Fieldbook. A lot of courses are coming out in the market. Some of them are called so-called mock mindfulness because the impact of them and the quality is not proven and is unknown. While innovation, expansion, and simplification of the initial ideas behind the first programs. And as well, together with this, the research is going, of course, and is being really expanding. But because it's really taking a lot of time to prove in a scientific way certain certain things that the theories or hypotheses, what happens is that the research is really slowing down, and the speed with which applications and new programs overtaking the market and research is coming much slower. That's what's opening a gap as well, and a question of this program's quality. The other thing is that still the audiences of people who are taking advantage of these programs and benefiting of them are usually middle-class white people still, which as well invites the idea for bigger innovation so that it spreads everywhere for everyone and becomes really much more accessible. And coming now to a response to these challenges and of course, even after the pandemic, even more, the crisis that we're talking about, the crisis on one hand in people's mental health, and the crisis that we are, some of us as teachers, experiencing for not being able to find ways how to get to the people, as well as some teachers are still not even feeling comfortable doing mindfulness courses online. So we have 81 pages of this Fieldbook. As I mentioned, a diverse team with 5 chapters, and with the main goals to make it more accessible, to make mindfulness more accessible, to have proven and effective results of these programs, and as well to have these programs together emerging with other practices and variety of other areas of life. And we'll have a slide for each chapter just for you to get a taste of what it is about. But I think even from this you can already see the logic of that. Of course, mindfulness today is something that we may all say, oh, okay, we know because we're living it. But here in this article, we can read all definitions about it in depth and how it's been understood as well from by the public. We could see as well contemporary mindfulness research, a lot of links and names, and a lot of these links are taking you straight to articles that are very, very important to read. So how to as well search for these scientific articles that are worth reading, because internet, again, if you start Googling mindfulness research, thousands of names come out, and we still don't know which one is worth reading and giving our precious time to, and which is not that good. And in this first chapter, you'll get a very clear, actually, idea of how and where to look for the one that's worth it. And this metaphor that I illustrated here, the metaphor of warp and weft, it's also very the one that is good to remember even now. It's used because in weaving, the warp is the fixed thread that runs through the cloth. And so in each mindfulness program, we have to have these very fixed things that are very important to stay there from what we've studied, and keeping the standards of the field. And what is weft is something that we can play around very creatively and actually bring about this innovation with. So, for example, the embodiment of qualities of mindfulness in a teacher is always the work, and it has to be there. But okay, so here I'll stop, and I guess you can all start imagining it, or maybe even dreaming about what's in a design of the program that you're working right now you would strictly keep as a work, and what would you want to change as the way you feel the market right now in your own, I don't know, maybe town or village, wherever you are. And for this, you have the time to discuss freely in probably a small group of 2 or 3 for the next, I would say, 7 minutes. Just imagining it, what your program that you teach or have taught recently, how you would change it, what will you keep, and what you would put and change a little bit and innovate. Do you have questions or around the task for the next 7 minutes? Just share your ideas of what you'll keep, definitely, because this is the most important 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threads of the work. Okay, Katarina, may I ask you? Yes.
I'll create breakout rooms, and you will be automatically assigned. The central question is, what would you keep? What would you change?
These ideas that are put here in each of these slides, of course, there are more than that in the chapters of the book, but I've chosen just one for illustration. And all of them are actually with the links to deeper articles and research material. So it's just full of more information. Okay, I guess everybody's back.
Yes, we lost 2 people.
Okay, they may decided to go and straight away change something. All right. So mindfulness today, great overview of what's happening in the field of mindfulness. Anyone could just dive into that and maybe stay there for a week. The second chapter is about the landscape of innovation. I don't know, maybe some of you are working in innovation. Some of you are in teams of research and development and design. As me, as psychologist, I've done some things and being consultant as well, but still in this chapter, everything important that I've come through and even ideas that I didn't know about are here in one chapter. So that's what really as well very helpful, especially for if people are coming from the field of yoga or counseling and therapy. Innovation and business innovation sometimes is far away as field as well, professional field. So that's what it is. There's a 4PS model of different ways, 4Ps model, sorry, different ways how to, what is being innovated. The theory U, that's been recently very fashionable in a way. People are taking courses in it of Otto Scharmer, and that's the illustration here of the mind of the leader and how to consider external and internal change. And different case studies as well of how programs in mindfulness have been created, designed, and how they worked. So here you have many illustrations of somebody started something and then it grew, and then the farmer got a rich crop. And innovative business models is something that we already scratched the surface of in the previous meetings with people who already shared their stories. Now here, the next 7 minutes, with maybe the same person or with a different person, you can share really what innovative program have you heard about? Maybe recently, maybe you read about, maybe you participated in it, or maybe you actually did it yourself. But yeah, that you wished you had come up with this idea first. So it's so good and it's so inspiring that, yeah, why didn't I think about that? So maybe share with each other that idea. And if something is just coming up or not, and it's not easy to remember anything, just talk about what's actually innovation for you, and if you have any experience in innovating and what you have done just a little bit different that you consider might be actually the first step of innovation. So sharing ideas that you know about, that you wish to have come with first. Katarina?
Yes, you want me to create the rooms?
Yes,
I will
please.
open them. Shall I put the question in the chat?
Yeah. I think
Yes.
if it's not too much.
No.
Thanks. Carolina, have you been invited to a group, to join a group in a room?
I have to interrupt for a minute.
Okay.
So I won't participate in this one. I apologize.
Okay, it's fine.
I'm coming back.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I don't see any invitation. I'm actually right now connecting through my phone, but it should not matter. I cannot see.
So Carolina, should I put you in a room or are you skipping? Because Caroline is skipping, but Carolina not.
Yeah,
Mm.
Carolina.
Yes.
Okay. So Carolina,
Yeah.
let me
Yeah,
see.
if you can put me in a room, yeah, I'll be happy. I just cannot see any invitation on the screen.
Wait, I cannot find you.
Oh.
I don't see you here. But maybe we make a room here, the three of us.
Yes.
Oh,
Definitely.
So
Great.
we just talk about it. And is there a program that you have heard about, Carolina? Are you in Poland or where are you?
I am currently in Vietnam. I am from Poland, but
You're from Poland.
I live in Vietnam.
So where did you teach?
I teach mostly online, so
Online.
that's
And in
already
which
an
language?
in Polish.
Okay. So two Polish people.
All right.
And do you teach MBSR or
Yeah.
any?
Yeah.
MBSR.
Yeah, it is MBSR. Plus, I also offer like workshop version, so it's just 3 hours or 2 hours workshops. Yeah, because I've also experienced quite a lot of struggle in creating groups, and actually, this is what I talked to Andrea before. I got kicked out. That I also started kind of working in smaller groups. So the innovation here was just the classes were a little bit shorter because we didn't really need it that much time. So that was also very much appreciated by participants, that they, because we both found that it's kind of a struggle to find that much time once a week. But yeah, I was thinking about any programs that are innovative. I cannot really come up with any at the moment.
Have you done one-to-one? Just you and a client?
Yeah, I tried that twice actually. With one client, it did not go all the way through. Like we decided that she was not ready at that point to go through the whole program, so she dropped like after, I think, like somewhere midway, and the other one succeeded. It was quite beneficial, I would say, and she was very positive about it. So, yeah, like that.
Great. Well, I myself have heard John Kabat-Zinn saying that MBSR is the best program, and he has not found anything else. And I believed for quite some time that he's actually right. But really, it's something that's been created so many years ago, and times are changing. But what I can think of now, after we met Tish in her presentation, is that really I'm amazed by what she's done with working with migrants, Katarina. And this is what that's where I see as well myself. It just in the field of helping migrants populations and refugees too, to have more calmer lives.
And all people whose language is not the first, where English is not the first language.
Yeah.
I myself combine mindfulness with other disciplines. And that is also what I like about Boxing and Mindfulness program, that they do not only sit, but they also do movement.
Yeah.
So I combine it with movement, nutrition, and with business models.
Yeah.
I have to
And
call people back.
go on.
Time is up.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So there's 50 more seconds for us also to have.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
Why are
business
you in
model?
Vietnam?
Okay.
What is it?
Which business model goes really like well with what we are practicing in mindfulness?
Business model.
No,
I'm
yeah.
not sure if I get it.
No, I was asking Katarina because you, Katarina,
okay.
you said that you're combining with different business models. Of course, it depends probably on the need.
No, not the business model of how it's financed. That also.
Yeah.
But because I work in companies, I also combine it with business consulting, not business modeling.
Yeah. That's what I meant too.
Yes.
Which of the business consulting is closest, you can do something together with it? But
It's about co-creation. So having a team work on things, that when the team works on their vitality and their mindfulness, they can more easily create a strategy.
Yeah.
We have 18 people back. Welcome back.
Welcome back for the next chapter.
Maybe you can just give a few words on what we are going to do about the responses, because people are going to breakout rooms, and then you continue the sharing.
Yeah. We were not planning to actually hear your ideas. This is just a reflective exercise for you to talk through and to come up with more ideas. What we are going to do in the end, and give you a bit more time to share after going through the whole process, to share your ideas and actually about ideas for an action that you're going to undertake after this or after reading the whole book. So that's why we are not requiring from you to share anything, unless of course somebody wants to, burning to share something right now.
I do.
Sure. Go on, Michelle.
I do. I hope I'll be short, but what came from the discussion with the two partners I've had, and in terms of my experience, I think we are asking we may ask a different question and simplify the process. I think we get stuck into ideology, and then therefore it's becoming very difficult to get out of that. So my suggestion is to start with the people who come. So I work with parents, I work in companies, I work in many different settings, and I never start with mindfulness. I start with stress reduction, resilience, introduction to mindfulness. When I work with parents, I don't speak about mindfulness. I start with their needs. And slowly I introduce the idea of presence and what happened when you react to your kids, for example. And then it flows differently. So now, is it innovation? I don't know. I think I get the essence of it, my understanding of it. And the more I work on it, the more, of course, I become part of that. It becomes part of me. But yeah, I can do MBSR and MBCT, and I can do mindfulness in other places, which is not the protocol. And so let's be free. Let's be mindful of the people who are in front of us, of their needs. Start with them, and there's a flow. I think very naturally there's a flow that's coming out, and then we can call it innovation. We can call whatever. That's my burning. I think the question is not what, it's about the how. It's about, and the people who come. People don't necessarily come for mindfulness. They come for a lot of different reasons. Anyway, that's my burning.
Thank you, Michael. That is a very important thing. And maybe to go back to the source also John Kabat-Zinn started with people who were in chronic pain. Yeah. And so he started from their needs to have moments without pain. And I think the basis of what we are also doing is, when we talk about innovation, to go back, and that's the essence of marketing in fact, to go back to the needs of the people that we are in contact with. And not copycat it to another group, but always, and that was your first sentence, always start from the needs.
And thank you, Katarina and Michelle. You just did the next slide. That is the essence, the core as well in the book, because there, the designing phase, are all designing theories as well are there and models, but you start from the person that is around you, that you are closest to, or maybe your interests are in these groups of people. And it's all about the human-centered approach. So design thinking is something that I'm very happy to work on as well with the methods. And so this alone is a process that I guess we all can start learning, and it never ends because it's another field actually of how to design the best service or product for the needs that responds to the needs of a certain group of people, or even of one person. And then co-create the solution with them. When we studied probably years and years ago, our programs, we came out like, oh, and from university too, oh, we have this specialty, oh, we have this this course, I can teach everybody now, this is perfect. But that is an approach that I have, and I need to share my knowledge. And so people don't know that, and they have different needs perhaps, or they have a different language at which they have their needs met, and or understand your product or your service. Recently I was on a marketing course, and there the person who was doing that, it is marketing and coaching and all this type of working with people services, and he put mindfulness as a keyword in the list of not needs of people but wants. So in marketing, again, we need to focus of what people need and what they might want, and they would usually buy something that's related to their needs. And what Michelle was talking about, they may feel, some of the parents, oh, mindfulness is great, but oh, I cannot afford that because I don't have the time. I need to do parenting, and I'll do the wrong parenting because I'm not mindful or conscious enough. So us translating our language as well of how we come to the humans that we're centering our approach to is very important too. So thinking about the language. The next very short talk, again, you can come back and share the very great ideas that you come up with. If you have ideas about some new group that so far you haven't worked with or haven't thought about focusing your offering of that service, and maybe a group that you have belonged, that maybe, I don't know, your sports a club, or friends of friends who are in another type of group or hobby, and maybe it's based on an age or anything that comes up. Just think creatively for the next 7 minutes and see what people would you like to learn more about. Maybe people that you've never met. Maybe just be free, as Michelle said, and creative and brave to approach them. So just brainstorm some ideas of who you can approach to co-create with.
Are you ready? Here we go. You want me to put something in the broadcast, Stasi?
Just maybe brainstorming of groups of people.
Population?
Yeah.
I guess I'm lost again
Yes,
with you.
you're
I'm
with
not
us.
doing it. I'm not doing it on purpose. I just
No.
I will assign you, okay?
Yes, please. Yeah. But it's just not popping up here on my screen. I don't know.
Here you go.
Yes,
was
Magdalena. She's back.
I was alone.
Oh, so Carolina and Magdalena, and
Hi, I'm sorry, I was alone in the breakout room, so I don't know if Gwenola and
Yes,
Ilan
I
is
will
left.
move you. I will move you to. Yes, because I've changed the rooms. They're not the same
Oh.
anymore. So
Okay, so I was alone there.
you can have some other experiences. Okay.
Thank
Here you go.
Thank you.
And Magdalena, you're still here?
Yeah.
Okay. I will. Have you already been with Granola?
No.
Okay. I'll assign you to room 8.
Thank you.
Okay.
so some people left at 7.
Yes, we have 20 more minutes, including all.
Yeah. We actually have enough time because there's 2 slides left. And the next one is about experience again of how they measure success. That's an important thing, I guess, on their own programs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So just to keep up with them, they're away for 2 minutes now.
Mm-hmm.
So that is calculating. I have to send them a message at 07.
Yeah.
We have 2 more minutes. And will we have another breakout room then?
Well, after, so yeah, on each of these slides, chapter 4, I'm not going to talk much at all about it. It's all on the slide. Take a look.
Because maybe maybe we can now open for plenary, otherwise there will not be enough time for any plenary exchange.
Okay. Yeah. So what we can do is show the slides.
Mm-hmm.
Let them think about what to share, and then oops, what happened? Yeah, and then the last one.
Maybe this is the slide, and maybe make number 4 a bit shorter, because that's really a research thing, and maybe many people don't have experience with that. Don't do a breakout room here.
Okay.
After this, go to number 5, and then have them share in the group.
Okay, but shall I just erase them, the sharing thing? In your experience, how do you know that your program is working? Just to erase the share It's just a question.
Yes, you could take away the word share.
Yeah.
But they can also, sharing in the plenary is also sharing.
Okay, so that's what I'm gonna say is after these 2 slides, there'll be a plenary for the next the last 10 minutes, and we will be discussing how to make our program sustainable. So how to prove and how to measure impact, and what we are planning.
Because this is the main slide. What's next?
Yeah. No, that's it.
And they can share also something from the rest of the breakout rooms. But I mean, Michelle was good at doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Let me see. It's 7 already. No. A minute. So what is this? Unassigned. No, we don't have any unassigned. So broadcast. 2 more minutes.
It's gonna be enough, I guess, time. But
Yes.
I was thinking maybe having 90 minutes or 60 minutes, maybe if we make it always 90 or always 60, so that people are, well, they will be just going anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, these meetings are always 90. Only the peer reflection meetings are 60.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So I will, in a few moments, close the rooms, and then they will come back in 60 seconds. Because this is called exchange. We must listen to them, not only keep telling them.
Yeah, I agree. But if we had to hear what everybody was talking all the time, it could have been like 3 hours.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's always the thing. We never have enough time to do everything.
But it's important to lead them through to come to some, action. That's what because it's one thing to think and to share and to talk, and it's all coming to talking without doing something.
I will put the PDF version that you sent. I haven't looked at it, but you sent the PDF version, didn't you?
Of what?
Of the presentation.
No, I sent it PowerPoint.
Okay, I will make a PDF of it.
Okay.
And put it on the same news sheet, the same news item.
Yeah, I'll make it because I think I have the latest version, and you have it shared from.
Okay, I'll put it on the news item. Hello, Beck.
You're back.
Hello.
Okay. We have 2 more chapters to go through quickly and discuss after them your ideas. But if anyone has come with just a new group of people that didn't thought about by now, and then they just had an epiphany, please share now. Okay. The next chapter, chapter 4, after we've decided who our people will be to co-create the new program, is actually checking if this solution works. And in here, this chapter is full of ideas about how to actually design short or simple or not that simple research, because that's how we can only prove that something is working. So just for the next 10 minutes after we finish the presentation, keep in your mind maybe this question, and then if you want to share, how do you make sure that your program, with the innovation that you have or without, is working really and has impact, and people that you teach and you help acquire mindfulness skills really take them, have them, develop them, and keep practicing. So how can you prove that these programs are working for you and for your students? A lot of material here in this chapter, including delivering change, which is a whole new profession, not new profession, but a new field and territory. And the steps of doing research. And the last chapter is how to make this stick, or how to make our programs, our new solutions really sustainable. And one of the ideas is actually how to work together when we have these ideas, because innovation is really not easy. One has to have support, feel supported, and really brave to just do it. Because one thing is for us to discuss and to maybe dream about change, and another to go through the sweat to do it. So the last breakout, I'll just leave you to discuss what can you do next, really. Maybe tomorrow, if you're gonna, I don't know, call somebody of the people that you would like to work together, or potential partner. If you're going to get a book, read an article, design something, or just draw a storyboard of your new idea, but an action that you're going to plan to do in the next day or so. So yeah, you'll have a little bit longer now before you come back.
In breakout rooms, Stasi?
I'm sorry, second?
So you want them in breakout rooms now?
Yeah,
You want
just
each
to
grade?
talk about, yes,
Okay,
to talk
good.
about it,
Yes.
discuss, and then when you come back, we'll have the rest of the time until past, until we finish, to share the whole process and your ideas. Also some steps that you're planning for tomorrow.
Okay, there we go.
How many people are left?
14.
Oh, that's okay. I really would like to
Well, 14,
here.
including you and me. So we only have 12 participants.
12. Yeah.
That even
that's not-
includes Teresa.
Yeah.
That means we have 11 participants.
That's okay. You remember that I might predicted 10? Yeah. Three of my Bulgarian colleagues, they said they're coming, and yeah. 4. Welcome back. Welcome back, ladies. You're quick. You barely made up your plans already.
Yeah. 9 of us. 13.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we have how many minutes, Katarina? 7 to hear your thoughts, your ideas, and really freely sharing what came to, for you to break through into a very different thing, maybe. Anything is possible, anything is welcome. You've just brainstormed some stuff, and it doesn't have to be perfect. We are gathering here tonight just to talk a little bit, and then to bug our minds a little bit more about what's possible. So just share for the next 7 minutes, please.
May I ask to stop sharing the screen because it makes it very difficult to see each other?
Of course, yes.
Thank you.
Here we are.
Better, much better.
I felt quenched into the screen there.
Yeah, me too. It's a bit dark. Now I see smiling faces. So yes, please share whatever came to you, and yes, hopefully a step that you're going to undertake into the direction that you feel like doing.
If I may speak again, I'm sorry, in a way. It's a very rich conversation we had. But for me, what comes out of that is the simplicity of mindfulness, and start with ourselves. Start with what you speak about. What is the essence? Each one of us will have a different essence, I suppose. And that's the would be the starting point of saying, okay, what's important to me, and how we would like to share that, and maybe ask that question. We in our group somebody said, what's important to me, but it's about the ethical side. It's about how to live our life in an alignment with who we are. So that could be a beautiful way of starting a conversation with anybody. Say, what's important to you in your life? How would you like to, what would make your life in alignment with who you are? So start a conversation, and that will lead to something. So that's, for me, one thing that came out. For me, another thing that's really important is that the starting point doesn't necessarily have to be mindfulness. If you start with the needs, so it could be relationship. Parents don't come to my group because of mindfulness. They come because they've got problems with their kids that they can't solve. So that's the starting point. And from there, it evolves and it unfolds. And when I work with, anyway, that's, for me, the starting point is what's close to my heart and what's close to people's heart, and how we can meet them. And then, whoop, there it comes.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle, for this sharing. Anyone want to relate to that or share specific steps on their plan?
Yeah,
Stephanie?
Michelle, I'm very grateful for what you said, because it also makes the need part more compassionate. It's the common, now the need is framed as a certain common humanity. It's not that is your need and we cater to that need, but it's more common humanity. Yes. So thank you for framing it differently.
Yeah, maybe I would like to share one thing. I just discussed it in the group where I was before. I was 2 months ago in a retreat to deepen my knowledge in inquiries with other MBSR teachers. It was a nice location, and we were asked to bring our questions with us. And one of the questions I brought with was, what can I do to make maybe a deep dive in mindfulness, so something which goes beyond MBSR 8-week training. And my idea was, I go there, I ask my question, and they give me then something which I can get back and say, okay, super, I can do now maybe an advanced course. And as I was asking the question, it came in my mind that actually I don't want to have that, because I want to have the freedom to define it myself. And so I'm very happy, because it corresponds exactly to the Fieldbook, which tells us to be innovative and find something which we think is authentic to us, to ourselves. And so therefore I'm quite happy to be here this evening, to see now the second thing pointing at me, telling me, look at your own praxis, look at what you can do very good to give it to others. Like Michael also told, it's his approach and he feels good with that. And the question is, what is our approach? What is something where I feel myself good, and don't wait that somebody comes up and tells you what you have to do. Feel in yourself and find out what is something where you are comfortable. And this is freedom.
Thank you, Roger. That's really beautiful words that could be easily just become the closing words, unless there's one more minute and somebody else wants to say something in the end. Okay, well, really thank you very, very much to all of you who are now here and those who already left. We just came here for just one moment to get together and to feel this freedom that we actually don't have limitations into the ideas and then just following them. So thank you very much for being here and sharing your minds and the beauty of innovative ideas with us.
And maybe remembering that we start a conversation, but it never ends. Not inside of us and not between us. So please continue to be with us. We are having marketing and consultancy help within this month and next month. And we continue this conversation to find solutions. And in the meantime, your inner conversation goes on as well, and mine as well. Thank you very much. See you soon. We will have Michael very soon. We don't have the date yet. So you all have already seen and heard Michael. The next meeting is on the 27th of April, and that is with Murray Cowell. Be with us. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Magdalena. Bye, Kieran. Yes.
Stop
No, it's
recording.
okay.
Should I stop the recording?